Hello, fellow explorers. Welcome to Julie's channel. So, today we have a crazy story that's honestly a parent's worst nightmare. If you've been following Joy-Anna Duggar, you know she's one of the Duggar kids from 19 Kids and Counting. Yep, that family with the wild number of children, and she's now sharing her life with her husband Austin Forsyth and their 3 little ones, Gideon, Evelyn, and the youngest, Gunnar, who's just 1. But what she recently revealed on her YouTube channel about Gunnar? Wow, it's something that every mom and dad secretly dread. Okay, so the video starts off pretty chill. Joy-Anna, looking all smiley and ready for a fun day, tells us she's taking her kids to a youth camp. Honestly, it sounded like such a sweet, wholesome family day. Her kids were basically living their best lives. There's footage of them bouncing on trampolines, playing with ATVs, and swimming in a lake. Super cute, right? But, if you've ever watched one of her vlogs, you know that Joy always shares everything, the good, the bad, and apparently, the terrifying. And that's when things take a turn, like a big turn. Out of nowhere, she drops this bombshell. Joy starts explaining how a seemingly normal dinner time turned into something terrifying. So, picture this, she's feeding Gunnar part of her dinner, just a small piece of ham, which seems totally innocent, right? But things go horribly wrong. Gunnar bites off more than he can chew, literally, and starts choking. I can't even imagine the panic that must have set in at that moment. Joy says she was physically exhausted already, and when this happened, she just completely broke down. She's crying, trying to help him, hitting his back, doing everything she can, but it's not working. And here's where things get even more real. She admits that when Austin's around, she kind of steps back from being the strong one because he's an EMT. She trusts him to handle things in situations like this. And oh my god, what she says next, like, you can feel the fear just by watching. Joy was so scared, she just handed Gunnar over to Austin and let herself cry. And she's being super real about it, too. She talks about how all the what-ifs started rushing through her mind. Gunnar wasn't breathing for a whole 20 seconds. Can you even imagine the sheer panic? At that point, he was gagging, throwing up, but not the ham. And Joy's just watching him struggle, knowing that something's seriously wrong. So, they did what any parent would do, they rushed him to the hospital. But even on the way there, it wasn't over. This part of her story was especially heart-wrenching. On the drive, they were trying to decide if maybe letting him sleep might help reset his body, but obviously, Joy was in full-on panic mode. She kept timing Gunnar's breaths, and there were moments when he just stopped breathing. I can't imagine anything worse as a parent. And in her video, you can see the pain on her face as she's reliving it. She's literally crying out to God, begging for him to save her baby. She even admits that she's never felt closer to losing one of her kids. That thought, that he might die, completely wrecked her. But then, finally, they made it to the hospital. And thankfully, things start to turn around. Joy says that after some tests, they noticed Gunnar starting to act more like himself, laughing, smiling, being the sweet little boy he always is. Talk about a roller coaster of emotions, right? The doctors did an X-ray just to be sure, but everything looked clear. They couldn't find anything in his throat anymore, and it was like the nightmare just faded. At the end of it all, Joy-Anna was beyond grateful. You can tell she's a woman of faith, and she gives a lot of credit to God for protecting Gunnar that day. It's hard not to feel emotional watching her tell the story, especially when she talks about holding her babies a little tighter after something like that. As a parent, it's a reminder of how fragile life can be and how quickly things can change. But, hey, the good news is that Gunnar's fine now. He's back to being his normal, playful self, and you can see that relief all over Joy's face when she talks about it. It's definitely a story that hits hard, especially for any parents out there who've had those scary moments with their kids. You never know when something so innocent, like giving your child a little piece of food, can turn into a situation that could have gone so wrong. Alright, guys, that's it for today. If you want to see the full story and hear everything from Joy-Anna herself, I'll link her channel down below. but let me know in the comments what you think. Have you ever had a scary moment like that with your kids? I know I'd be a wreck. Anyway, don't forget to subscribe if you want more updates and stories like this, and hit that bell so you never miss a video. Until next time, keep your loved ones close.
Bye!
Guys!